Assalamu Alaikum everyone, welcome back to another video. I hope you're having a great day. Right, I don't know if you watched it or not, but yesterday's video I talked about the fact that I made a mistake, and I'm going to share that with you today, and that's basically it. I'm going to show you exactly what I've done, okay, the mistake that I made, and hopefully what I'm going to do in the long run to make sure that doesn't happen again. Okay, when I started this journey, I've always said I'm going to be transparent. I'm going to tell you exactly when I buy stock, when I sell it, why I'm selling it, why I'm buying it. Okay, be transparent and keep everything within Sharia compliant. Okay, that is really important to me. Now, obviously, there are times where you make a mistake and you have to own up. Okay, and this is one of those days. But before I get to that stage, okay, before I explain the mistakes and all of that stuff, like I said, I am definitely not a financial advisor. What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to basically create a portfolio of stocks that are Sharia compliant, ETFs or stocks, whatever, okay? And hopefully in the long run, it will, I'll get some good dividends from this portfolio, and I can live off and then get that sort of a financial freedom. Obviously, I'm investing in real estate, I'm investing in stock markets, and I'm sharing my journey with you. Now, if you like that kind of transparency and you like what I'm doing here and you finding, the videos is some sort of a value, I would really, really appreciate, like I've always said, I have no courses to sell, nothing to sell to you. All I need from you basically is just, if you enjoying it, just like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let me know if you have any questions and I can answer those. And now, talking about questions, okay, one of the brothers, one of the new subscribers, I think, okay, I don't know if you're new or not. I apologize if you're not new, but have asked me a question. And just the question said, Assalamu Alaikum brother, I currently took my Shahada basically a week ago. And as soon as I saw that, trust me, my heart dropped. And Alhamdulillah, I'm so happy for you and your family, and so grateful that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has actually shown you the right path. And that means everything. Forget about investing, forget about everything else, okay? That is the most important thing in life. Allah has guided you to Islam, and I hope you find peace in it. And if you have any questions regarding Islam, whatever I can do to help, InshaAllah, let me know, okay? So yeah, and brothers and sisters who are watching these videos, okay, congratulate this brother or sister. I don't know, I can't tell from your name, so I apologize, okay? But yeah, just say Assalamu Alaikum to everyone else. And if you live in a local area where there's a lot of Muslims, please reach out. It can be lonely at times, okay? I had a brother, who converted to Islam and became a Muslim a long time ago, and he found it really lonely in the first place, because there was not a lot of Muslims around that area. And then he moved around to our area, and Alhamdulillah, since then he became one of us basically. So yeah, congratulations, and I wish you all the best, InshaAllah. Right, so to answer your questions, Trading 212 is the account that I use. They, like you said, basically they're not taking a new account right now. Okay, so the other platforms that I use is Freetrade. Now, Freetrade, the ISA account is the one that you need basically. If you live in the UK, the ISA account is what you need, because it protects you from all these taxes. So your capital gains and dividends will be protected. So for that reason, open that capital and open an ISA account. You can basically max out every year if you've got the cash, £20,000. Anything you sell or buy, you're not going to get taxed. Anything you make in terms of, so if you've got a stock that went up 200%, that is your money basically. You're protected from it. Now, the other one I started using for my children, okay, is the Interactive Brokers. Interactive Brokers are US based, but they've now opened an ISA account just a couple of months ago. And I was looking for an account for my children. So we've opened, okay, in fact, this also is to answer a question a subscriber asked me on Instagram. So we've opened an account with Interactive Brokers through my wife's account, okay? So we've got another ISA. So it's not just children's one, it's a normal ISA account. And the plan is, InshaAllah, just to put money for them every single month. And I'm going to go over the details of that in the next video, in the monthly portfolio videos. Okay, I'm not going to share what's in it, but I'm going to share exactly what's going to happen, and I'll give you a little bit more details on that. So interactive brokers is actually quite good. You basically put the money in. If you got an ISA account, you put your money in and you just buy whatever, and they have their fees is a little bit funny, okay, but it's really, really low. I think it's definitely lower than Freetrade. So look into it. Interactive brokers is probably the best one for you, inshallah. And it's quite good as well in terms of platform wise. It's actually nice in terms of research and things like that. I'm still getting used to it. I don't want to touch that account. I don't want to share that account, so I can't show you, unfortunately, but it is a good one. In terms of picking stocks or ETFs, there's not that many ETFs out there. There's quite a few, to be honest with you. Interactive brokers actually has Halal and the other ones, as I think, available. But the iShare ones, the ones that I've invested in, they're actually decent, okay? Maybe mix that with some stocks if that's what you're interested. Do the research, and inshallah. But there are definitely a couple of other ETFs out there, like the Halal, whatever. But you have to be careful with those, because I've made videos about them before. So if you're interested, have a look at those. And the expense ratio is a little bit high. But yeah, maybe mix a couple of stocks that you know and Sharia compliant and all that stuff, as well as some of those ETFs. And good luck with your investment, brother. I wish you all the best, brother or sister. I'm really sorry. I apologize if you're a sister. Okay. So just good luck. Good luck with everything, inshallah. So the next question was brother Hamza. Hamza said, brother, what about the regular Dow Jones Industrial Average? Would you say it's Sharia compliant? I will say definitely no. And the reason for that is because the Dow Jones Industrial includes loads of different companies, including banks and so on. So they are not compliant at all. So you can't buy the ETF for that and just say, okay, it's definitely compliant. But there are stocks in there that are definitely compliant. A lot of especially I did videos on the Dow Jones. So have a look at those videos. But the ETF itself, that tracks the Dow Jones Industrial Average, I would not say that's Sharia compliant. And again, like I've always said to you, I'm not a scholar or anything like that. I'm just going by what I know. There's a few banks that deal with all sorts of riba and stuff like that are in that ETF, so you have to be careful, okay? And it changes all the time as well. That's the other thing. They can change anytime, and when they change it, they're not going to worry about who is invested in it, Sharia compliance side of things. They're just going to change it based on, so they might get rid of, I don't know, 3M and add a new bank or something like that. So you have to be careful. So that is the second question, the final question I want to answer today. Right, so let's talk about the mistake that I made. And the mistake I made was Stanley Black & Decker. I bought this stock a while back. When I bought it, I knew they had a higher debt, but I didn't think, based on what I've read, I thought they were in the process of reducing that debt, okay? And the stock was doing really well. But since I bought it, it went down from, I can't remember, I think it was like $160 per share to almost, I don't know. Let me actually, in fact, double check. In fact, it was more expensive than that because I bought it January of 2020, so not long ago, okay? But at the time it was $188 per share. So I've been buying it for a while, okay, adding to it every single month, okay? And one of the subscribers actually did say, are you not worried about the high debt? And I thought, you know what? No, based on what I've read on their 10K, it looks like they're in the process of reducing the debt, not increasing that debt. But because the stock kept going back, basically down, what happens is the market cap goes down. Obviously the debt stayed the same as it was, but because the market cap went down, the debt levels went to almost 30 something. Now that was the first red flag, and then they released their earnings. As soon as that happened, two things happened. The markets basically didn't like that, so it kept going down. As well as that, their free cash flow, okay, which was a positive initially, not a lot, but positive, went negative. So it has been declining for a while, but I thought they will recover based on what I've read and their 10K and so on. I genuinely thought they are on the right track to increase their cash flow, which means that as a dividend investors, we're absolutely fine. And this is a company that have increased their dividend over God knows how many years. They are definitely a different dividend aristocrat. So there have been situations where the cash flow actually went down from $1.67 billion to just in the millions. But I just assumed that was because a lot of COVID related, whatever. But I was wrong. Okay, and right now as we speak, right, the debt level, so what you need to do is basically this basically is what you need to do. So if you go to Seek and Alpha, you can find the market cap of the company and the total debt. So total debt was about 6 billion. That has increased from 6 to 10 billion dollars. Then the market cap, which was over, I don't know, 30 something, whatever it was, okay, went down to almost now 18. And for that reason, right now, okay, the debt to market cap ratio is about 60%. Now, as Sharia compliance from side of things, we said 30 to 33. So 33 being the cutoff. Majority of people say about 30. Some say 33, but let's go with 33. Now, that's double that. Okay, so two options. I have two options. Either to get rid of it completely, take a loss. Because remember, I was down quite a bit at the time. Because when I bought it was $180, and then when I was selling it, I can't remember, it was 120 or whatever, right? Either sell it completely out of it, take that money, take a loss, and then that's fine. Okay, basically learn a lesson, or keep the stock for at least one more quarter. Now, the reason I didn't want to keep and the reason I sold it was because of this free cash flow. If a company has negative free cash flow, and the sentiment right now is the stock is kind of going down, despite the company having amazing products, okay, I just can't invest in a company like that. So I took a loss, and a big one, okay. So I sold it on the 11th of May. I sold everything I had, okay, and I took almost £300 loss. Like they say, sometimes you lose, sometimes you win, obviously. And this time it was a loss. Now, do I regret it? A little bit, okay, but these things do happen. But you know what, it taught me a lesson. It taught me a lesson to now look at my portfolio and figure out some of the companies whose debt level is actually above, say, 28 or whatever, that can easily turn around. Because the market, the market is actually quite volatile. The stock might go down. That means the market cap is going to go down. If I have a higher debt levels, whatever, then that's going to basically turn everything into non-Sharia compliant. And one of the companies that in that situation now is VF Corporations, okay? But their earnings was actually quite good. The stock's kind of bouncing back right now. And sooner or later, I might have to get rid of that stock as well. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So yeah, I took a big loss on this one, £300 worth of that, and it's a mistake, but I made a mistake. So if you are in this stock, you might have to now start thinking about it. Like I've always said to you guys, don't follow me to any of these stocks, because to be honest with you, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just sharing my journey, and that includes mistakes as well. And this was a mistake that I made. So the other thing I've done then is to kind of these things do happen, but sometimes, obviously, by looking at my portfolio, alhamdulillah, there's a lot of companies, okay, even though there are a couple of companies in the red, there's quite a lot of companies that are in the green, okay. So if I was to sell, for example, Amgen completely, that will offset my loss and whatever, but I'm not obviously going to do that, okay. So the other thing I wanted to tell you about, and just to be transparent, okay, it's Pfizer. I've talked about very quickly yesterday about Pfizer. But yesterday, after I recorded that video, I've sold about 13 shares of Pfizer. And the reason I've sold this company, some of the shares is this. The company has amazing balance sheet, okay? And I know in the next few years, it might struggle a little bit. And that's the only reason I'm selling it. In terms of balance sheet, it's actually quite nice. They have a nice free cash flow, everything else going on. But in terms of growth side of things, okay, I don't think it's going to work out, because remember, COVID vaccine has actually helped the company. They went up, basically, their revenue went up about 77% just because of COVID vaccine. Now, what's going to happen next couple of years? That's going to change. Okay, that's definitely going to change. So this year, they predicted to actually have a minus 21% earnings growth. The following year, 5 years, about just 1%. For that reason, the stock will come back down. And when it does, that's when I'm going to buy more of this company. And as you can see here, although it's fairly valued at the moment according to Morningstar, okay, the fair value price is about 48, and that I think I'm gonna see that at some point before the end of this year. That's gonna happen sooner or later. I guarantee you that's gonna happen, because knowing what this company, I've owned this company since I actually started investing, okay, and I kind of traded in and out. One time it went all the way, I think it was a 60 or something. I sold it out completely and start buying back again when it was about 48. So just to be transparent, I'm actually sold a little bit of it now because of that growth side of things, and I might sell the rest of it. And then if it pulls back again, because remember, my investment strategy is to keep the companies that I actually think are, obviously have a mass growth in them, as well as paying me dividends. And if I think this stock right now is trading high multiples and sooner or later it's going to come back down to fair values, then I might take some profit off the table and wait for a pullback. And based on what's happened in the market this year, I'm sure I will see this at some point. And that is the only reason I sold 500 something worth of the stock, and I took that money and put it into another company, and I'll share that with you in the next video, inshallah. I hope you enjoyed the transparency. I hope you enjoying the videos. If you are, all I ask is just to like, subscribe to the channel. Let me know if you have any questions. Have a wonderful day. Assalamu Alaikum.